Welcome to AM. My name's Richard Conway, and this is the platform for age group multisport athletes to showcase their journeys. Welcome to episode 22 of the Age Group Multisport podcast with me, Richard Conway. I hope you're keeping safe and well, and I hope your training's going okay. This week I've done monthly FTP test, and unfortunately it didn't go so well. I was down 5 watts, which is a bit of a downer. We've had a bit of snow in Lincolnshire also, so even though it's a bit sketchy on the footpaths and the roads, still managed to get out and do a nice long math run and a bit more as Zwift, and then did some hill repeats yesterday. So not all in all, with some strength sessions and some yoga, not too bad of a week for training. Weather's been, like say, snowing and very wintry and cold, so stayed indoors where possible. Got myself a skipping rope, that was the other thing. Oh, and a massage gun. I thought there's so much going on with these massage guns, I thought I'd get one and see what they're like for recovery, and I've got to say, pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it's a nice bit of kit. Feel totally relaxed after you've used it, especially on the little bits that niggle and are a bit sore. Mrs. C's even got hold of it, and she's given it a go, and she likes it as well, so we're vying to see who gets to use it first of an evening. So we've used it nearly every evening since we've got it, so it's pretty good. Skipping rope, I thought I'd get one of those. I haven't had one for a long time, and I thought as the pain cave's a little bit cool in the evenings when I do some strength sessioning, I thought it'd be a great way to warm up. So yeah, started with that, so that's good. Nice to get back into a bit of skipping. Well, hopefully the snow will clear this week. We forecast a bit of rain, and we'll get rid of all that, so the conditions for running will be a little bit better, and maybe even get out on the bike. So that would be good. On episode 22, we chat to Kate Cadbury, who is a physiotherapist and a Pilates teacher. Kate is from a non-sporting background. She never did any sports as a kid other than ride a bike with a family and go on long walks. As she said, she was too interested in eating crisps. But that hasn't stopped her, and it culminated in reaching the podium in 2019, where at Pontevedra she claimed the bronze medal for her age group, which is a fantastic feat. So I hope you enjoy Kate's story, and we shall see you on the other side.
How are you?
Yeah, all fine, thanks. Yeah, we're all good. We're quite lucky in that we've been able to carry on working as physios, so we've got our own physio practice. So a bit nerve-wracking when it all first kicked off, but it's been really good. And then obviously I do all the online Pilates and stuff, so that's kind of transformed that. And then the kids are at school, which is always a saviour, because we had one week with one of them home because his teacher tested positive, but it was pretty hellish, to be honest.
It must be tough. I mean, myself and my wife, like, obviously our kids are up and gone, and one's 26, one's 24 now, so they're up and away. But we're so pleased that we didn't have them hanging around now, because it must be really hard work. Really hard.
Oh, I know. I feel so sorry for the parents trying to cope with it and juggle a job and work from home, and it's just a nightmare, isn't it? But it's all positive for it coming out the other side now, isn't it? With getting the vaccine rolled out, and there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
Let's keep our and all stay safe, and just keep training and keep our mental well-being going.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I can say is thank God for exercise, to be honest.
Absolutely. So we find you in Poole, Dorset?
Yeah, from Dorset, yeah. yeah. So grew up in Dorset, and we lived in New Zealand for a couple of years, working over there as physios, and then been back here now for 15 years. So love it down here actually.
I saw your photographs on Instagram, and it does look gorgeous. I've never been to Dorset. I've been to Cornwall when I was a lot younger, but beautiful part of the world.
Oh yeah, it is. So you'll have to come down. Let me know.
Yeah, well, it's on our bucket list actually. One of the places we've got a VW camper van, and one of the places that we want to come down to. So, yeah, one day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So well done for setting all this up. That's great.
Yeah. Well, again, it was inspired from COVID and lockdown. To be honest, I mean, I'd had the idea for quite some time, like I've said before.
Yeah.
And I've never done anything like this before. But I listen to a lot of podcasts through my job, working in the garden. I have my earphones in and just listen to a lot. And it's sort of like really struck a chord with me. And I thought, well, what can we do? And there's loads of podcasts out there that are for the professionals and for coaches and stuff. And I thought, well, what can we do that's for not just age groupers, but for all normal walks of life, everyday triathletes, multisporters, you know? And I thought, well,
yeah, definitely.
It's one of those, you've got to have a leap of faith and just try it out. And when you first listen to your voice, it's horrible, isn't it? It's just not nice. It's sort of like, just stemmed from there. I asked my eldest son, he's a graphic designer and he's up on the computers and everything. And he said, yeah, just go for it, Dad. It sounds like a great idea. So 21 episodes in. We're learning, as I said, all the time. Yeah, we just keep going, and hopefully the audience it's not massive, but I hope we're giving a bit back to our community. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's really nice, and it's nice because everyone feels a bit connected, even though you're not meeting up at races and stuff like that. So it's really good.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I suppose it's you doing your Pilates online as well. I mean, how's that affected you? Yeah,
really good actually. Yeah, it's been really positive. It's kind of something that I've always wanted to set up, but where before we went into lockdown, I was teaching like 20 classes a week, so it's so busy as well as running a physio practice, and so trying to have the time to actually work out how to set up an online platform is just never going to happen. And then obviously we got thrown into lockdown, not being able to do the studio classes, forced me to do it, and it's been really positive in that you can, we've got people all over the world now signing into it and all over the country. And I think the nice thing is the sports side, there's obviously different things to it. Obviously the physio side, people that have got aches and pains feel the confidence from that doing it with a physio, but also just the sports side. I think, there's a lot of Pilates instructors out there, but I guess having my background in the sport, and I know what sports people want. They want to be challenged. They don't want to just lie on the mat. They want to be feeling like they've done something. And so those classes are pretty tough, and people absolutely love them. So it's really good. And obviously, I wouldn't have been able to do that in the studio set up where you've only got 10 people in the class and mixed ability. So just to be able to get that out there online, and people just rock up after putting the kids to bed, or they've been on the turbo and jump in there, and it's really good actually. So I can't see that ever going back really. We'll probably go back to some studio classes just for the social side of things, because that's quite nice to have that. But the online side of it has been really, really positive. So
And
it's good. Yeah.
Great stuff. And did the people that you were like having classes with, have they gone online and joined you there as well as everybody else that's come on board?
Yeah. So all of them have transferred across. There's a couple that have dropped out just because situations, I don't know, if they, you've got a small house and you've only got the lounge or the kitchen to do it in, and the kids are in bed. I don't know, just a few people just with logistics haven't got into it. But generally, everybody's jumped across, and then there's a proportion of people that want to get back to the studio, I guess, from the social side, like the older people where that's their highlight of their week and going for coffee and all of that. But a lot of the younger people, like my age group, where you've got kids and life's pretty busy, they just feel the benefit of being able to do it at home, and then also they can access all the other classes through the week as well. So if they can't make the Monday night, they can swap, do another night, and so it gives quite a bit of flexibility. So generally everyone's pretty much come across. People take a few, and then lots more from all over the place are joining in, which is great.
Some good things have come from this. You know what I mean? We've adapted, haven't we? And people like yourselves have definitely adapted.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing the amount of online things that are about now that weren't there before. It's just, but that's the way it's had to go, hasn't it? So brilliant. Yeah.
Sorry, no, they're saying we've advanced in technology by about 5 years through this. So good. Yeah.
So thank you ever so much for coming on to AMP. Really appreciate you reaching out and want to be part of it.
No, not at all. No, thank you for having me.
I really can't do it without you guys, as you know. So if you want to, we'll usually, like we normally do, we'll start off with your background, growing up as a child and what you did.
Yeah, so as a child I wasn't particularly sporty, to be honest, have to be honest with that, and I think I was more interested in eating salt vinegar crisps than doing sport. Despite my dad trying to get me into every sport possible, it didn't really have much success. So I obviously did all the sports that you do at school, just more because you have to rather than overly enjoying them, to be honest. But, we were a relatively active family in that we would go out for country walks, and I grew up in the country, so, going out for country walks and, on our bikes and things, but never did anything with any degree of competition. But I guess within myself, I have always been, a relatively competitive person in terms of work and my work ethic, and that's where it's probably shone through as I have got a bit older. It was more when I went to university, really, where I started to get into sport. So obviously went to uni to study physiotherapy, and I was surrounded by lots of sporty people, and obviously the course was very much based around exercise, health and wellbeing, and so I guess I got inspired by lots of other students there, and met my husband there as well, who was really sporty, and thought, to try and impress him, I guess I better get into sport as well.
It's good at reading as any, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of got me into it a bit more. So I started going to the university gym, and then started going out for a few jogs, and then sort of developed from there as I went through the physio course. And then when I qualified, obviously working with a load of junior physios, and we decided to sign up to a charity 10K run around Poole Park. And so we just started off doing this run-walk programme along Bournemouth front, and we'd walk between the lampposts and then jog between the lampposts, and gradually built it up. And then we did the run, and I really surprised myself and actually did pretty well in it, and thought that maybe this is something that I wanted to get into. So from there I just got into more 10K races, and my times were coming down. I was feeling much more natural as a runner, and just absolutely loved it. So it became sort of a regular part of my exercise routine, running. But that was very much running. And then we went to work in New Zealand actually, and worked as physios over there, and obviously sports is a massive part of the Kiwi lifestyle, and we absolutely love that, like the life-work balance of exercising and working hard. So that was brilliant, gave me an opportunity just to run in some absolutely beautiful places over there.
So why did you go over to New Zealand then? What was just to sort of experience a different sort of life?
Yeah, I think career-wise, it was really good. It's a really good place to practice physio. So they've got great concept in their physio side of things, and we love the way they sort of practice from a physio perspective. So it was a good thing for us to do for our career, and just to get the experience of living in another country before we settle down with children and things, and getting into that sort of lifestyle. So. So we did the ski season over there, working with professional ski teams, worked with professional rugby teams as well. It was an absolutely amazing opportunity, and sort of brought all the little Kiwi tricks and types of lifestyle things that they do, tried to bring them back to Poole here.
So what made you come home then?
We decided, we were only meant to be going for 6 months, to be honest. We ended up staying for 2 years. Yeah. But we got engaged over there actually, and so needed to come back to to get married over here. And then I think just family really is the big thing. It's a long way away, and really close to our families, and felt that we didn't want to have that massive distance between us. But we've kept in touch with all our friends who've been back over there, and definitely got good links with New Zealand. So so we try and keep that a big part of our life if we can.
And it's so easy nowadays, isn't it, to keep in touch with the likes of Zoom and Instagram and all that sort of thing. It's just really easy. In fact, it's hard to,
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely made the world a smaller place, isn't it? And certainly really important at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. So that's really good. So you got back home, got married, got settled down, and then you were still running at that point.
Yeah, still running at that point, and then my husband bought me a bike actually in 2011 for my birthday, a road bike, and so I got into that a little bit, but then I quickly found out I was pregnant, and so actually that kind of then came into its own, to be honest, when I was pregnant, because I just popped it on the turbo trainer when I got bigger, and that was a big part of my training. I stopped running through my pregnancy, just for different reasons, so decided to swap it into the cycling. And then also after I had our first baby, then the turbo was my lifeline, to be honest, because while he was asleep in the day, I just have the baby monitor and just get my time on the turbo and have a good sweat session, and that's what helped me keep my sanity and get me back to fitness after having the baby. So then I really got into cycling from there, and then once I felt ready, sort of built up the running after having the baby, and then decided that a good goal would be to sign up to a triathlon. So that's where I signed up to just a little local sprint triathlon, which is called Try a Try, and it was basically about trying a try, and it was a great thing to do. And there's all sorts of people with mountain bikes, and there's all sorts of levels of athletes doing it really. But was a good one to sort of have that focus for after having a baby, and ended up really enjoying that and doing pretty well in that I thought I'd probably go down the multisport line from there.
Yeah. So your husband bought your bike. Was he into triathlon or duathlon or anything before that, or was it just he had a bike and he wanted to get you involved?
Yeah, so mainly that basically. Yeah, he had a road bike and just thought it'd be nice to do it together. Yeah, unfortunately he had a big ski accident, so he's not able to run, unfortunately. So cycling is a big part of his life. So he thought that actually it'd be good to head out on the bikes together, which it certainly has been.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, my wife obviously is in triathlon and duathlon, and we were out yesterday actually cyclo-crossing in the country lanes, and it's really good because she didn't used to do anything, a bit like you growing up, apart from dancing, and and she saw me do all this, and eventually she's come over to the dark side, if you like. She's joined in. If you can't beat them, join them. So
exactly.
It's really good to do it, and it's great for the kids as well because they see mum and dad doing it, so it's just normality for them as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, totally. Our kids just see that as the norm, that mum and dad are going out together. If we do that, not at the moment because we haven't got anyone to look after them with the lockdown, or mum's in the shed at 6:30 in the morning on the turbo trainer, so it's good to try and inspire the kids, and it's great healthy ethos for them really as they grow up.
Yeah, that is a really good ethos for them to have, that's for sure. But you were talking about after you'd had your first baby, and you remember trying to go for the run, and you felt like your pelvic floor was like, you said you went and decided to use the bike as an alternative. If you could just elaborate on that and how you felt.
Yeah, so after having my first baby, I think I thought about 4 weeks after I'll be ready to chuck my trainers on and off I go. And so, I did that and sort of headed out for my run. And I felt that my pelvic floor was going to fall out on the pavement and that I wasn't ready to get back to running yet. And was quite surprised about that. I think, thinking being a runner before, I would be fine. And And so actually that just made me think and just research a little bit more from the women's health side of things, from the physio aspect, because my background was more musculoskeletal, so sort of sports injuries and things. And so, you know, really sort of taken that on in terms of trying to help a lot of other patients and postnatal mums in terms of getting the correct management after having a baby. And I think, you know, we underestimate the toll it takes on your body having a baby, being pregnant for 9 months, then having the birth, and then having the recovery, you know, whether you're breastfeeding, the lack of sleep, that sort of thing. And I think, you know, trying to educate mums on that is really key, because I think we see later down the line the complications that can happen, and with pelvic floor problems, with back pain, you know, with all sorts of different complications that can arise. And actually, if you get that right management in the early days, it's so key for getting back strong. And I think I like to try and, you know, use my example to try and help others, because, you know, I picked up on it really quickly, and that's obviously being a physio. But I think lots of mums, you know, they get back to running and think it's normal to, you know, to be wetting themselves when they're running because they've had a baby. And it's common, but it's not normal, and it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. And, you know, and I hope that I'm kind of proof to mums that you can get back to activity without having complications, and I'm stronger than I ever was before I had kids. And, you know, I would like to try and sort of carry that message on for other mums so that they get the right management themselves.
Fantastic, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've picked up, and I think it's just worth, you know, people hearing that. You know, like say you're the prime example. So from your first, going back to your sporting journey, from your first multisport event, your triathlons, and you did a couple more, how did that develop?
Yeah, so I did a few more little sprint triathlons, and then I was treating a patient actually who used to age group triathlon, and but he'd retired then, and he just said, "Oh, Kate, with your times, you should be thinking about trying to get into the age group."
Had you come across the age group teams before?
Only through hearing about him, so through treating him.
Yeah.
But I think we've had a couple of friends that have done it before, but no, other than that, you know, didn't know much about it. But I thought, well, I'm always up for a challenge, so I'll research that. And so yeah, I signed up to the qualifier in Cambridge, but remember rocking up to that in the winter with no idea what I was doing and feeling very amateurish. So that was the standard distance duathlon.
Okay.
And I was trying to qualify for the Worlds, which was then in Denmark, in Finn. And so I remember feeling pretty intimidated with everyone wandering around their GP kit until you started talking to them and realised they're all really lovely and what a nice, amazing, supportive community. But I definitely felt that I was very much out of my comfort zone, just a mum from Dorset. But ended up qualifying then for the Finn, for the World Championships, and so then took it from there, basically.
Cool, really good. So how did you find the whole experience then?
What, the qualifier or the actual race?
Yeah, from finding out about qualification and then, you know, actually racing to qualify, and then when you got your GB suit and, you know, the whole thing.
It's been amazing, actually. It's been an amazing journey, and I feel really lucky to be part of it all, to be honest. I mean, like I say, the qualifier I definitely felt was very much out of my comfort zone, but I always think it's good to push yourself out of your comfort zone, isn't it? And then I think once you knew you were kind of at that level where actually you could qualify, I guess it's always, you know, having that doubt in your mind that you're not going to be up to that kind of level. But once you know that you can, then, you know, you get a bit more confidence, don't you? And then, going out to Finn for the World Championships, again, I felt was very much out of my comfort zone. I think partly, you know, my busy life. So, you know, we run a physio practice, we've got the Pilates business, I've got 2 young kids. So actually trying to prepare for these races when you've got a really busy life and get your head in the right place can be a real challenge. So I think, you know, you sort of turn up to these races feeling like you're on the edge of not being able to, it's just not something that you've necessarily overly had that time to put into when you feel like everyone else is putting all that time into. But obviously everybody's trying to juggle their life, aren't they? But then, you know, once you get on that start line, I just think, right, I can just do as best as I can here, and I know, that's all I can do now, and it's too late to worry about it, and then just crack on.
Yeah, great. No, it's a great experience, and I think once you've done it as well, you just want to carry on and try and repeat it. I mean, that's how I feel about it. I just want to keep trying to qualify and keep trying to see how far you can go, really.
Yeah, I know. I think I get to the race and travelling over there. Right, I'm never going to do this again. This is too much, too stressful with life and the kids and the work. And then you do it, and then you think, oh, I'll do next year then. So yeah, it's definitely addictive, isn't it?
So once you qualified for that, how did it go after that?
Yeah, so qualified, then I raced in Finn, and I came 5th in age group, so really pleased with that. So then obviously pre-qualified the year after, and so then did Pontevedra, when was that, 2019 now, again, the Worlds, and then got a bronze medal in that one, so third in that one. Yeah, so it's pretty chuffed with that, and then, obviously was meant to be racing last year in Almere, which I think you're meant to be as well, aren't you, Rich? Waiting for that one to come about. Yeah. So hopefully we get to do that this year.
Hopefully this year. September's a long way away, so we've got a good chance. I'm still not sure about whether we'll get any racing done at the beginning of this. These first 6 months, I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. But yeah, surely by September we'll be all right to go.
Yeah, a lot can change, can't it, in that time? So yeah, we've got to keep positive and keep focused for that.
Absolutely. So are you coached then? Have you got a coach?
No, I haven't got a coach. No, I guess I haven't had a coach, but I think being a physio, and my husband's a physio, and he's got a background in sports science as well. So we have got, good knowledge in terms of training, and obviously that's a big part of our physio practice, help other athletes from that side of things. But I think the biggest thing for me is time, and trying to have that time to fit the training in around a busy life. And so I think, with my training, it's very much what can I fit in and when can I squeeze it in, basically. And it's, a quick opportunity where Tom, my husband, would come in from work, and here you go, right, your turn to do part-time, and I'd chuck my trainers on and off I go. And I think having that the strict routine from the coaching side of things, as much as that's so positive in so many ways, I just can't see that I'm going to be able to fit that into my life at the moment. And so I tend to do what I can. I use the winter months to build up my base, and a big part of my training is obviously the Pilates. Being a Pilates instructor, I'm teaching a lot of that, and so I sort of see that as my building up my little powerhouse in my core, and everything else can follow. And then 8 weeks before a race, I just pick up the training, start bringing in the brick sessions and that side of things, and then hopefully be on tune for an event.
Well, it seems to be working, doesn't it? So coaches, like you say, you've just got to do what works for you and your sort of where you are in your life at this moment in time. Really, it doesn't work for everybody having a coach, and I'm not coached at the moment. I I'm not coached. I haven't got an official coach. I'm part of a club that's got a coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do what you do, don't you? And like I say, it seems to be working for you, so that's really good. So what's your favourite race that you've raced at?
I'd say probably Pontevedra, to be honest. I love that. I thought it was amazing. Obviously, it's all through the town. I don't know if you've done that one. Have you done it, Rich?
No, I haven't.
No. It's all through the town. It's quite a challenging run because there's like cobbled streets part of it, and it's sort of 90-degree turns, so you kind of lose your pace a little bit, and you turn around this 90-degree angle, and you've got a hill. I loved it. There's everyone out in the streets cheering you on, and the longer the race goes on, I think the more beer they've drunk and the louder they get. And so that's such an amazing feel. And then the bike course, so generally, I guess because I'm a bit smaller, I quite like the hills. I'm able to get up the hills a bit quicker and probably not so strong on the flats, to be honest. So the hilly course up through the hills was just perfect for me, and absolutely loved it. And then you drop back down into the town, and Yeah, so I think that was my favourite race I've done so far. But yeah, it's great. You get opportunity to travel these different ones all over the world. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's truly amazing. We're very lucky, and I know we've got a lot of everything, but still, it's really great. Resources to help you with like multisport in general. You know, what do you go to resources?
So I use Train Road on the turbo, so with a smart trainer. So yeah, I use that. Again, I don't particularly follow the plans just because of times, and it's as and when I can fit them in. But I just sort of pick, you know, a VO2 max session, or you know, a sprint session, or a recovery session on that. So use that, and yeah, other than that, just my physio resources in my head, I think, and the Pilates side of things is a big thing for me. And yeah, I think we have a lot of athletes that we treat professionally, you know, from the physio side of things, and it's great just chatting to them. Like, I've had some of the Olympic guys come down and see us, and you know, you pick up a lot from those guys and just people's experience, don't you? That, you know, I think that's really nice, actually, just supporting each other in different areas. So yeah, but no sort of other official resources that I use.
You've got your own library there, haven't you? Knowledge.
Yeah, it is helpful, actually. I think having that knowledge. Well, sometimes knowledge can be dangerous, can't it? But
it can be, but you know, I think with your experience and things that you've got and you've picked up over the years, it's probably really helpful. So.
Yeah.
What's your favourite piece of kit?
Oh, I know, I've got a lot of favourite pieces of kit. It's all about the toys, isn't it? Yeah. But I'd probably say, to be honest, my ASICS trainers. So I love my trainers because, yeah, I guess my background is running more, and they've taken me on some amazing journeys all around the world, and you know, I think you can just be at one in your trainers, can't you? So probably go for my trainers. I just always feel a bit sad when they run out and I've got to get another pair, but I tend to not throw them away, so I've got about 40 pairs of trainers.
The sad thing is when you can never get you get a really nice pair, and then they've upgraded them somehow, or they've changed them, and you can't get those exact pair. That's
I know.
Really upsetting.
Yeah, I know, that is pretty devastating, isn't it? They think they're doing you a favour, but no, we don't want any changes in those.
How sad's that? But anyway. And finally, your long term and your short term and your long term goals. What do you see yourself doing?
Yeah, so obviously short term, it would be nice to be able to race again that isn't virtual. So yeah, this year meant to be going out to Almere for the standard distance duathlon. So hoping to get out there, and it would be nice to go up a notch on the podium if I can. So if I could get up to silver, that would be nice. And then that would be my short term goal. Long term goal, so I'm turning 40 next year actually. So I'd like to do an Ironman. I know Corinne said that, didn't she? She wants to do one for her 40th. It seems to be a common theme. But doing an Ironman would be a good thing to tick off for my 40th, I think. So try and build myself up to that.
Nice. Well, they're good. You know, I mean, they're good goals to have. So you need to have some focus, especially now while we're in lockdown. It's great to have goals to aim for. And so I think that's a great place to finish. If you want to plug your Pilates class that you do, and also your mindbodyonline.com. So Pilates is a big part of my training, to be honest. So I'm a great believer in that the stronger you are in your core, then I try to see that as my little powerhouse, like I say, and then you can improve your biomechanics, and you know, that's what's going to really help improve that power, and that's what's made a massive difference to my times, to be honest, is just getting that core strength. So I run online Pilates classes, so called Cadbury Pilates, and it's an online platform. So we've got a really popular class that runs on a Monday night, which is specifically for sports people, so runners, cyclists, triathletes. And it's all levels, so couch to 5K or professional athletes. And it's basically, you know, teaching everybody about how to get the core strong,
So the abdominal muscles, the upper body postural muscles, the glutes, and talking about how that can improve your biomechanics, which is going to improve your power. So, and then within that platform, we've also got yoga. We've got yoga for sport. We've got HIIT and cardio, pilates. So yeah, there's a massive range of classes that hopefully will be a great resource to keep everybody going. And yeah, obviously the fact that it's online, it's running all over the world now, which is great.
Brilliant. Well, thank you ever so much again for joining us this morning. So really do appreciate it, because we can't do this without you guys. So, and it's been fantastic hearing your story.
No, thanks, Rich. No, thanks for having me. It's been really great. Yeah, and it's been really great to listen to them all as well. It's really nice to hear everyone's story.
Yeah, I'm glad you're getting something out of it, because I really enjoy doing them. So meeting you guys, it's just face to face is really nice. And when we meet up in Almere or wherever next, we'll know each other already. So that's you get to know people. So it's
it's brilliant. No, thanks for what you're doing.
Well, lovely to meet you.
Brilliant. Yeah, really nice to meet you. Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, and you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Rich. Bye. Bye.
Thanks very much, Kate, for your time. Great to have her on the show. I hope if Kate's experience resonates with you, you've got something out of today's podcast. And just to reiterate, Kate's Pilates is available at a website, and that's cadburypilates.com, where you can sign up and train with her online. And also you can find Kate on Instagram at Cadbury Pilates, and there's a link in there for you to take part in the classes. Well, that's it for another show. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you've got something out of it. And if you want to get in touch, please drop us an email at agegroupmultisportpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at amp_1967, on Facebook at ampgb, and you can find us on Twitter at Agegroup Multisport Podcast. We're also now on YouTube at ampgb. You can find all the podcasts, and we also have our own website, which is agegroupmultisportpodcast.buzzsprout.com. And again, all the podcasts from previous episodes are on there too. If you've enjoyed this, please leave us a review, subscribe, send us your comments. It's always great to hear from you. And remember, stay safe, keep training, and love the process.